MAGA comes to talk. Okay, so Tucker Carlson had a sit-down interview with Elon Musk. And, you know, Elon Musk is, of course, he's the richest man in the world. He's the richest man in America. He's the richest African American. And what Elon Musk has done is absolutely amazing. And if the powers that be knew he was going to do what he did, they wouldn't have let him buy Twitter and turn it into X. And, you know, 4 years ago, almost to the day, because it was October 4 years ago, Donald Trump's campaign released the October surprise. That was the Hunter Biden laptop, right? Hunter Biden kept everything in his laptop. He had everything in the cloud, and it was all out there. And immediately, all the information from Hunter Biden's laptop made its way on Twitter, courtesy of the New York Post. What did Twitter do? They suppressed it. I mean, they completely covered it up. The mainstream media went out and got these 50 former intelligence officials, without knowing anything, just sign a letter calling it Russian misinformation. And now here we know, we always knew, but it's been proven beyond any doubt that the laptop of Hunter Biden was real and everything on it was true. And I'm not going to go through all the details of the laptop because I've talked about it. Many other people have talked about it a lot. If you're not familiar, get Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell. So 4 years ago, when Donald Trump released the October surprise of the Hunter Biden laptop, that was the first time in history that a Republican, to my knowledge, that a Republican had an October surprise on a Democrat candidate like that. Never seen it happen before in a presidential election. The October surprises usually are slanders put out by, or controversial things put out by Democrats about Republicans. First Republican October surprise in history, Twitter suppressed it. So Elon comes along and he finally gets fed up with the suppression going on at Twitter. And if memory serves, was it, they did something, there was the liberal monsters that were running Twitter, the overlords, they suppressed something that had to do with the Babylon Bee. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they went after the Babylon Bee. And Elon Musk said right then and there, that's it. And he went and bought Twitter and turned it into X. And if you remember when he was buying Twitter and when he first bought Twitter, Elon Musk, all these people in the media and celebrities, well, I'm going to leave Twitter. Now, of course, they're on it still today. But they said, we're going to leave Twitter. And all these blue checkmark celebrities and media people thought when all these blue checkmark liberal jerks left Twitter that it was going to be valueless. It was going to be worth nothing. And Elon Musk, he's not the richest man in the world because he's stupid. He's a very smart man. And he made it more relevant than ever. And it's now X. You can call it Twitter, whatever it is. But he took Twitter, turned it into X, and this is where all the news is really being driven, is through Elon Musk's X. And here we are now, you've heard Hillary talk about this, we've heard Tim Walz and Kamala talk about this. They're in a panic mode because they've lost control of the narrative. The way it used to be before Twitter is you had the 3 nightly news networks, and then you had 2 major newspapers, the New York Times and the Washington Post. And that's where all the politics came from. New York Times, Washington Post, ABC, NBC, and CBS. They had, which of course is deep state controlled, they had control over the narrative that was out there in the public, and they would create false narratives, WMDs in Iraq, Vietnam. They would create all these false narratives, and they were able to promote them and drive the American people into whatever direction they wanted. And then social media popped up, Twitter in particular, and they started to lose control But they had all of these liberal jerks at Twitter that were suppressing everything that they didn't like. They call it misinformation. If the liberals don't like it, it's called misinformation. So Elon Musk on Twitter has made Twitter, now X, a completely free speech platform. And the left just can't have it. They just can't have it. So Elon Musk, he sat down with Tucker. Let me play a little bit of this. This is Elon with Tucker talking about what will happen to him if, God help us, Trump is not reelected.
If she wins, I mean, how can they let X continue in its current form, in its current role in American society?
They won't. They will try to shut it down by any means possible.
What do you mean by any means possible?
I mean, with law, either by, they'll try to pass laws. They'll try to prosecute the company, prosecute me. The amount of lawfare that we're seeing taking place is outrageous. I have many examples, but like the Department of Justice, for example, launched a huge lawsuit against SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers.
Come on.
Yeah,
asylum seekers?
Not asylum, those who've been granted asylum seekers. Now there's also a law called International Traffic and Arms Regulations that because SpaceX develops advanced missile technology that can be used in nuclear ICBMs, that we have to be very careful with who we hire. We can only hire someone if they're a permanent resident or citizen. That's what the ITAR law says. Then there's another law that says that you cannot discriminate against asylum seekers. So we're damned if you do, damned if you don't. The DOJ did a massive lawsuit against SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers, even though it is illegal for us to hire asylum seekers under ITAR law. This is an actual thing that's going on, and they can only do a fairly small number of lawsuits every year. So why did they pick this one?
Because you have X.
Yeah, lawfare.
Okay, so Tucker Carlson, he's talking about this harassment lawsuit against SpaceX. He can't hire illegals, okay? SpaceX has top secret rocket technology, and you can't have illegals working there. It's against the law. And they're going after me. So Elon Musk is saying that if God help America and the world, Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, is elected, they're going to prosecute his company and him. And you've already heard Gavin Newsom. They want to arrest Elon Musk. Why do they want to arrest Elon Musk? It's simple. Because free speech reigns on X. So many of these things that have been coming out about Tim Walz and all the weirdness with Tim Walz and a lot of the things that have been coming out of Kamala from her speeches in the last few years that are, the word salads and all of this. The old people at Twitter would have suppressed all of that as hate speech. Now it's out there, and people can decide. I'll give you a big example, major story that the fake news are trying to get a false narrative going on right now. I'm going to talk about this on my next stream at 6. Let me pull it up. I'm going to do it on the next stream, but let me pull this up. I wasn't going to do this now, but I wanted to prove the point of what we're talking about, this panic. Let me find it. It's about Kamala Harris and this phone call with Ron DeSantis. Okay, hold on. So Kamala Harris is on the tarmac, and a reporter comes up to her, and hold on, I gotta get through the commercial first that plays on the video. Okay, here we go.
President, Governor DeSantis, NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes.
Okay, so this is NBC News, this reporter, this is Kamala on the tarmac yesterday. NBC is reporting that Ron DeSantis is refusing to take your calls about Hurricane Milton that's about to hit my state of Florida.
President, Governor DeSantis, NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the
else should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
Okay. So they're trying to get this false narrative that Kamala Harris has been calling Ron DeSantis because we've got the worst hurricane Florida's ever had is coming to Florida right now, by the way, guys. And the reality is she has not called Ron DeSantis. It's a complete lie. NBC News fabricated this total BS story that Ron DeSantis is refusing calls from Kamala. And Kamala's asked about it, and she doesn't say, well, I haven't called Governor DeSantis. She gives credence to the lie. And here's Ron DeSantis. He was on Hannity last night talking about this very thing.
Focus on leveraging finds non-U.S. citizen migrant.
Hold on. I got to cut that audio off. Hold on. Okay, so this is DeSantis on Hannity last night.
And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including from the federal government. And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what I think is selfish
Has she ever
is her
called
trying
before?
to blunder into this. No, and here's
Has
the
she ever
thing.
called before?
She has no role. No, she has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this, I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got peoples whose lives are on the line. I've got peoples whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games, and so she is being selfish by trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
Okay, so there was no phone call. She hasn't called DeSantis. And she didn't even correct, say, no, I haven't called him. She's going along with this narrative. So this story, let me tell you something. You know, she should be freaking ashamed of herself. But she doesn't, I mean, she has sex with married men, Kamala Harris, so she has no shame, right? You know, she goes on dates with married men with the wife there at the park. I mean, she's a sick woman. This hurricane that is hitting Florida, Hurricane Milton, is expected to be the worst natural disaster to ever hit the state of Florida. Okay? They're talking about 15-foot storm surge. That's a life-ending event, okay? And I know a lot of people hear what storm surge, and they don't know what it is. What storm surge is the ocean actually rises with the hurricane, right? The ocean will rise along the coast 15 feet. You're under, so you're on the ground, now you're under the ocean until the water recedes. How long? I don't know. We don't know. In Florida, I'm in Florida. Believe me, this is a frightening, freaking hurricane. This is a bad one. This is the worst, and I've been through a lot of hurricanes. Most houses in Florida are one-story houses, like mine. 15-foot storm surge would be higher than my house. So if I were sitting here right now and that storm surge came in, it would burst through the windows and the doors. I'd be dead right here. Boom. You wouldn't even see it because it would destroy the camera. The camera would be gone. You know. And we've got Kamala Harris playing some BS games of lies about it so that when this storm hits, she has an excuse not to do anything. And for all these idiots that say, well, she's not president, she's vice president, really is. Biden wears freaking diapers, okay? He's out of it. She can't get something done? Of course she could. By the way, Biden and her are a team, right? She has a moral obligation as the vice president of the United States to not play political games on a life-ending event that is on its way to Florida. It's going to hit here tomorrow on Wednesday. She never called DeSantis, and she didn't correct it. She is the lowest politician I've ever seen at this level, morally. I've never seen, we've had a lot of scumbuckets, okay, run for president and be president, no doubt about it. I've never seen a president politicize when a disaster is coming. Basically, Kamala Harris's attitude is, well, Florida's a red state, screw them. Well, okay. Just because Florida's a red state doesn't mean everybody in it is a Republican. By the way, that should not matter. Disaster relief is a nonpartisan thing. You don't give people relief based on if they voted for you or not. That's monstrous in itself. The area that is, Florida is a MAGA state. All people deserve hurricane relief. I mean, this idea that, well, you know, they didn't vote for us, screw them, they're on their own. F them. That's what their attitude is. The part of the state that is being hit is the Democrat part of the state. Tampa. Tampa is, now this could change a little bit north or south, but right now the projection is Tampa, Florida, which is Tampa Bay, which is a bay. It's devastating, this hurricane, if it hits Tampa. Oh my goodness. It's devastating wherever it hits, but Tampa, oh my goodness. That's a Democrat part of the state. And it's going to go through Central Florida. Those are all Democrat parts of the state of Florida that have sanctuary cities in them. But they don't care because they're guilty by association. Yeah, you're Democrats, but you're in MAGA-controlled Florida. Screw you. No help for you. Don't you understand the dangers of this? You know, this jerk-off saying Trump for prison. We've got an administration. We've got Kamala Harris, who is not giving life-saving need to people in North Carolina and playing games with the governor of Florida during life-threatening natural disasters because they didn't vote for her. Are you freaking kidding me? That's twisted stuff. She should be impeached today for that. Now, if you'd like to support my content, which I hope you do, I produce a lot of content. There's a link pinned to the top of the live chat. It's also in the description of my video. To My Pillow. Right now, My Pillow has their lowest price ever on the standard My Pillow with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, just $14.88. It's an incredible deal. This is the lowest price ever. The normal price is $49.98, just $19.98. And there's also similar deals on the other pillows as well. This is the standard My Pillow that started it all, and it's just $14.88. It's a huge deal with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Free shipping on all orders over $75, and it's a great time to do your Christmas shopping. All right, so go to mypillow.com, use my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, for this deal and a lot more savings, okay? And you're supporting me and my channel and my podcast and radio show and everything. Thanks so much for your support. I'm lucky that I'm not in the cone of the hurricane in the part of Florida I'm in. I'm in South Florida. And the people that are being hit with this hurricane, if this hurricane were coming here to my part of Florida, if we were getting hit head on with this, I would have to fly my family out of town. I'd have to fly my family out of town. It's that dangerous. It's that deadly. You know, and you know, since a lot of this area was hit with this last hurricane, Helene, there's a lot of debris on people's streets and neighborhoods. And you know, when a hurricane's coming, the debris causes a lot of damage. Like I have this door behind me, those windows are hurricane glass. My windows on my house are hurricane glass. I don't put shutters up over this window. The other ones, even though they're hurricane glass, I put shutters up because what happens is flying debris. The window, a hurricane window won't break, but they crack, and they're expensive. So you don't want to replace a cracked window. So I put shutters over the other windows of the house. And what happens is you have flying debris, tree branches, lawn furniture, things like this, and they hit the windows at these speeds of over 100 miles per hour. You know, roof tile, things are flying everywhere. This storm, out of all the hurricanes that have hit Florida since I've lived in Florida, this is the first one that scared me. And that's a common thing. In fact, a lot of people here in Florida, friends of mine, on Facebook and DMs and group chats on Instagram DM and stuff, are offering their home to friends and family to come stay with them if they're in an evacuation zone. Because really, you know, where do you go? You know, you can't really go north because the hurricane's going to go a little bit north. You go south, the hotel rooms are booked, or maybe you don't have the money for the hotel, you know. And Kamala's playing games. Well, I tried to call DeSantis. Bullcrap. And shame on her for not correcting that fake news reporter about her not calling Ron DeSantis. It's easy to prove. Show the phone log of them calling DeSantis and him refusing the call. I'd like to see that phone log. He can't produce the phone log because he didn't get the call. They could just say he deleted it. Have Kamala Harris and her team produce the phone log. She's vice president of the United States. All of her calls are logged. Produce the phone call of her calling DeSantis and him refusing the calls. I'd like to see that on television. Wouldn't you? These are sick people. Sick people. People are not only going to lose everything they have with this hurricane, sadly, they may lose their lives. And Kamala Harris trying to use this for politics? I've never seen something so twisted. That's why so many people have been red-pilled and are on the Trump train now that never were before and still don't even like Trump because they see the dangers of Kamala Harris here. Yeah, I'm under a tropical storm warning where I'm at. I'll have tropical storm force winds. Some of my neighbors have put up the hurricane shutters. I'm not putting up my shutters for the tropical storm winds. But, yeah, I mean, I have some supplies here, and I've loaded up on gas for my generator and things, which I won't need. But these people up in the Tampa and Central Florida area, and it's Tampa south to about Fort Myers, Florida. And that's a very highly populated area, and it's a beautiful area. But it's also going to be Central Florida. This weekend, my daughter was flying to town with a friend of hers. I was meeting my daughter in Orlando, Florida on Friday. We were going to go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando, and of course we had to cancel that trip. Because the hurricane's coming up that way, and it's just going to be devastating. So we canceled that trip, and I haven't seen my daughter since April when she went on our cruise. So I was really disappointed in that. But yeah, hurricanes are nothing to play with. I mean, and this one, and it depends on how long they're over. The area. This is if it goes through fast, it's bad, but not as bad as if it hovers a little bit and goes slow. Yeah, south of Tampa right now, they're expected to get really the worst of the worst. And here you have Kamala Harris playing these games. This is really disgusting. I've never seen something like this. I mean, if I were a Democrat, which thankfully I'm not, oh my goodness, could you imagine being a Democrat? If I were a Democrat, I'd be out. I'd be gone. You don't give life-saving assistance based on the political affiliation of the people in that community. This goes to her growing up in Canada, okay? She was born in Berkeley to two immigrant parents. When she was very young, her mother took her to Canada. She came back to the United States to go to college. Kamala Harris does not feel a connection with us. She doesn't feel a connection with us because she's not an American in her heart and mind. Legally, she is. She was born in California. So if you're born in the United States, you're a U.S. citizen. But in her heart and mind, she's not one of us. I don't know if she's Canadian, Jamaican, Indian, or nothing. But she doesn't feel a bond to the American people like I have or you have because we're Americans. She doesn't feel like one of us. And you know what? She's getting pissed off because she's getting rejected. She's not getting her way. She's losing in the polls. You know, so she's pissed off. I mean, I'm pissed off at DeSantis for his trumpet trail, but he does a damn good job when we have disasters. You know, if you have a hurricane coming, you want DeSantis. He knows what to do when hurricanes are coming. He is great at that, even though we betrayed us. But he's doing a good job now. And shame on Kamala Harris. Shame on her. Oh, we're not. Yeah, that's right. She could get this done. She could walk into the Oval Office and get it done right now. And she's not. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. All right, this is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. My next stream will be at 6 a.m. Eastern. I'll be at the radio station in the radio studio taking live calls from people listening to me on the radio, as well as you guys watching me on YouTube. And I'm going to talk about this, but also this 60 Minutes disaster of Kamala. She made a real fool out of herself on 60 Minutes. So I'm going to go through all of that on the next stream is where I'm going to lead. I'll probably lead with this phone call thing because it's just got me so pissed off. But after that, I'll get into the 60 Minutes stuff. If by prison you mean the White House, yes. Why would you want to put Trump in prison? Making America great again, a crime to you? What are you, CCP? I've already showered. Well, welcome, AK. Welcome to the community. You'll love my channel, I promise you. Yep, absolutely. No, in fact, he's not convicted. They haven't had the sentencing yet. He is technically not a convicted felon until the sentencing, which may or may not happen. Yeah, this is real news. I mean, I am really pissed off about this phone call thing. You know, I saw it last night as I was going to bed, and I was like, I just can't believe it. And when I saw it this morning, how she just went with that lie, she should have corrected it, but she didn't, because she's a sicko. Right? Yes, all my cats are up. Hey, Pepsi. Pepsi and Coca-Cola, my kittens. Hey, Pepsi. You want to be on YouTube? Come here, buddy. No? Okay. This is Pepsi. And then Coca-Cola's over here. Coca-Cola. Hey, Coca-Cola. Want to be on YouTube, Coca-Cola? Hey, Pepsi, they're playing. Come here. I'll show you Coca-Cola. Oh, nope. Nope, Coca-Cola doesn't want to be on YouTube today. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, they're about 6 months old now. I've kind of lost track. My wife knows. She keeps track. Oh, they're adorable. They're great. He's was climbing on the chair behind me. Well, you know. They are MAGA kittens, and they stand strong for those kittens lost in Springfield, Ohio. Oh, yeah, they're cute. Yeah, yeah. We have three. We have those two guys, and then, of course, our other cat we've had about a year and a half, Luna. Luna's become their mother. I miss our dogs. You know, our dogs have all died. They're very old dogs. And our last dog that passed away, she was like 17. Cats are much easier than dogs. Mike, luckily, I am not in the path of the hurricane. I'm going to have tropical storm force winds, and that's for sure. But I'm not going to have the hurricane at my house. Thankfully. Oh, man. It would have been awful. If that storm that's hitting Tampa was coming here, I would probably have flown my wife to California to stay with my daughter in Los Angeles. Yeah. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know. I wouldn't want to leave the kittens. I guess I could take 3 cats on the plane. You know. But hurricanes are no fun. If you're in a part of Florida and that's getting hit by Milton, and they tell you to evacuate, get out, get out. So many people are. My biggest worry with the hurricane is we have so many people that are new to Florida in the last few years. They're not prepared and they don't understand how serious they are. It's not a rainstorm. It's nothing to mess with. Now, my house is a bunker because, my back porch here is almost the full length of my house. And it's specially built into the house. It's been through, I don't know how many hurricanes in the last 20 years. I got a new roof. I've got the hurricane windows, the hurricane shutters. I've got the generator. And my house, I have a hurricane door on the front door of my house. My garage door is a hurricane reinforced garage door. These doors behind me, these French doors, these are special hurricane doors as well. Not just with hurricane glass, but the doors themselves are hurricane doors. And, so I have a bunker here. But if I were to have that storm surge, I'd be dead. The storm surge is dead. And so many people, that die in these storms because they are in an evacuation zone and they don't leave. And they tell themselves, well, I've been through so many hurricanes. Yeah, I've been through more hurricanes than I can count. Okay? But not like this one. Who dodged the draft? You talking about Bill Clinton? Why are you bringing up Bill Clinton? I don't understand why you're bringing up Bill Clinton, who dodged the draft. He's so feeble these days. His wife, she's still a part of it, but Bill Clinton's out. Well, liberals said draft dodging was the right thing to do in the Vietnam War. And, the left, they call Trump a draft dodger, which he wasn't. He had you can't have bone spurs and be in the army, right? You can't march. It's a real condition, okay? But this liberals it's a funny thing because this came out with this sex podcast that Kamala came on. She didn't intend for this. But the left are obsessed with women having the right to choose what to do with their own body. And she's on this sex podcast, Call Her Daddy, over the weekend, Kamala. And the idiot host asks Bird Brain Kamala, do you know of a law that tells a man what he has to do with his body, really? And she says, no, there are no laws. Well, the draft tells you that your body has to go in the military if they draft you. And how many soldiers in Vietnam, Korea, the Second World War died who were draftees? Think about it. I was talking to Richie the bus driver yesterday. He's a Vietnam veteran. The Vietnam Memorial in Washington, that wall with the 58,000 names on it. I asked him, I said, how many of those 58,000 names on that Vietnam wall in Washington were drafted? And he said, probably about 90%. What about the control over their bodies? Is it only women can have control over their bodies? So I don't want to, do away with the draft. Every man, when he turns 18 years old, is required by federal law to register with Selective Service. I had to do it. Now I'm too old. I served in the military. I'm glad you asked. I served in the military for the same amount of time as President Biden, President Obama, and President Clinton. That's right. That's exactly right. That's right. Thanks for asking. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's right. Think about that one. Some of these trolls may not get it. I served in the military for the same amount of time as President Biden, President Obama, and President Clinton combined. Think about that, trolls. Think about it. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And of course, if you'd like to support my channel, go to mypillow.com. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can use my promo code Kane on all the specials at mypillow.com. The standard MyPillow that started it all is just $14.88 with my promo code Kane. It makes a great Christmas gift. So start doing your Christmas shopping, and it's free shipping on all orders over $75 with my promo code Kane at checkout. And when you use my promo code Kane, of course, you're supporting all of my content. You chose the Navy. They gave you the Navy or jail. Well, William Masters, the government told you what you had to do with your body. Oh no, not only do I have the MyPillows, I have a MyPillow mattress, the MyPillow sheets. My cats have MyPillow pet beds. I've got MyPillow towels, MyPillow slippers. I've got it all. I live in a MyPillow home. And all the products are great, very well made. This is my second cup of coffee. Kamala is just a terrible person, this phone call thing. You know, hopefully this storm calms down, though. I'm so worried about the people on the west coast of Florida. Not everybody can evacuate. I mean, I was watching the roads out of Tampa yesterday, and it was just a traffic jam as far as the eye could see. Standard American. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Rachel Baby. I'm proud to say yes. I'm an average American guy. That's right. Greatest country in the world. Oh, they're always harassing Mike Lindell because he's MAGA, stands up for Trump. That's exactly right. Well, guys, I have to finish getting ready for work. Again, if you're new, subscribe. My next stream will be in about 90 minutes, and I'm going to go through this 60 Minutes interview that Kamala did where she completely embarrassed herself, as well as her forwarding this lie that she's been calling DeSantis and he hasn't been taking the calls, and a whole bunch more. My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.